climate change and all its impact that have been on our planet, the focus on sustainability has seen a different level. There's been a paradigm shift altogether. I guess every aware, and I like to stress the word aware, human being is fully cognizant to the fact that sustainability is fundamental to human existence and directly impacts all our lives and businesses at large. I think that's a truth which everybody is woken up to. Textile being the second largest polluter in polluting industry, and as Tanuja said, we are definitely not proud about it, but the fact remains, due to the nature of the business, sustainability will always be a big topic in our industry, though it started just a few decades ago. But I think it's really gaining strength now, and we are moving from strength to strength. Retailers are discussing low impact collections. Sustainability totally impacts our sourcing decisions as sourcing leaders. We also, all the brands have low emission goals, whether it is compliance or operational decisions, or for that matter, the holy grail of carbon neutrality, which is such a big topic now, and all countries and brands are setting targets to that. But the irony is that all brands have their sustainability goals, but a recent sourcing journal research has shown that it's hardly 20% of the brands that have actually put in tracking tools to ensure that their goals are achieved, and they're tracking it very diligently. So I think words are put in the reports, and I mean, Deepali mentioned that the board, the company is accountable to the board. So that's amazing, and that is where action comes in. It's not just words, it's actions. And as Tamana was introducing Deepa to us, I'll bring the focus back to Deepa. She leads the office for a very, very sustainability-driven European brand. They are the largest supermarket in Switzerland, Coop. She's been leading the office for nearly 6 years, and amazing strides have been made in this duration. Just to give you a brief introduction of Coop, though Deepa will also talk more about it. Coop came about 150 years ago. It began as a consumer cooperative, but it is now an international retailer and wholesaler with nearly 2.5 million members. Their sales are to the tune of about 40 billion and approximately 95,000 employees. And in their sustainability report, they have listed about 400 actions, which is their commitment to people, nature, and animals. So it's a big thing to be taking that many steps. And Deepa, I'll now turn to you, and I'll ask. And what we are all very keen to hear is that in these 6 years that you've been leading the office in this India subcontinent, how has been your journey, especially on the sustainability side, and the wins and the struggles? As you know, it's an all-encompassing agenda. So we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Annika, from warm welcome. And I'd like to thank, and it was very nice to hear Mr. Swaminathan, Mr. Nair, Mr. Goenka, together with our other associates, Tanuja, Tamanna, not to miss Raman, and now Annika, you. So thanks so much for warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be here to share the experiences I made in last few years. So I've been in industry for about 2 decades now, over 2 decades. And after doing successfully for some time, there comes a time when you want to think as to what will you leave for our industry or generations to come or talent in future. So it was around 6 years back, I got this opportunity to work for Coop. As you rightly said, they are global leaders in sustainability. And with the main motto of the company is action, not words. So it's strength for activity means doing and not talking. And that's what glued me to the company. And it is like a great initiative from company that you take a vision and you can explore on it and you can deliver. So in last 6 years, there are many projects which was just talked over coffee. Then you explore it, research it, put a plan together, put it forward, and how you see things turn from just a thought to the real action, to the success, and the pride one can take. And I'm very passionate about this, about every project that was once a dream and today you're executing successfully. So today, with this great initiative from BSL, together with Ministry of Commerce and Textiles, together with AEPC, to create this forum where we can actually share experiences which can benefit and excite coming talent for adopting it for times to come. And in long term, leaving that impact on the society is what, is making me proud and passionate to continue on this. Now, if we look at today's the time, now world is looking at India. So if we adopt to something significant, that's what will be making the difference. And when you talk sustainability, how I look at it and how I approach it and why India, as all our eminent speakers said, it's very much in our roots. It's not something new. We have been leading it since ever. We have been living it since ever. We come from the land of yogis. So we have already seen and we inherit how they lived. We just in between got into that run where we would have forgotten few steps. But because we have inherited this, it will be very easy and could be the leaders of the world in times to come when it talks about sustainability. A very, very, very small example. We have been eating on banana leaves or pattals since ever, which today, when you look at the world, it's being introduced as disposable palm tree tableware and all different kinds. I'll just show you this small, tablewares, which we have been proudly shipping, palm tree tablewares. But India knew about it since ever. It is our yogis, it's our ancestors, it's our generations before who taught us how to live on it. Another example, if I think about today, the retail sector, all the brands, when we talk about plastic reduction, quickly move from plastic bags to cotton bags, to jute bags, to every other bag. But you look at India, look at your grandparents. They always carried that little bag with them when they went for shopping. We all just in between somehow missed it. So it will be very easy for India to lead this topic and make that remarkable difference. So that's what my thought on sustainability to start with. And many others, if I go along, this 1 hour will not be enough, to be honest. So, and you let me know what are the other insights we can exchange today.
Yeah, Deepa, unbelievable. I am actually talking to you the past days and going through the sustainability report of your brand. I mean, such big metrics you achieved already, fair trade, and what a big percentage of your private label is already sustainable, and the kind of goals that you've set for yourself are just unbelievable. And probably you can talk a bit about the goals as well and how have you achieved it, because I know you have amazing supply partners and we'd love to hear from them as well. So any metrics or goals that you would like to talk about, that'd be awesome.
Sure. I would like to start with, we have a very strong supply chain and that creates the core of any sustainability. The entire ecosystem, the entire approach needs to be holistic. So though there are many suppliers which India has who are really the success drivers, the change makers, but today I could invite Mr. Amit Narayan, who has worked very closely with us on cotton initiatives, on linen initiatives. So we will have him on board to share his views. Before that, I'll just share with you the strategy that COPE had in mind and believes in, and how we can, the pillars, the 3 pillars of sustainability, how we look at it is sustainable range, which means to act quickly, tap onto existing sustainable products, accessories and packaging. This could be a fast runner. That's how you make an impact very quickly. Mm-hmm. And when I say accessories, a shirt contains 12 buttons, let's say. And if we can change it to a recycled button, it will be a much larger impact. Every export carton being shipped, if that can have a paper tape versus a plastic tape. So while I mean to say everyone is thinking around, but these small means, we believe in small actions making big differences. So certainly like tapping onto existing sustainable products and packaging, not only stop there, but also think about new projects and products, which could take you to long term, which you can lead in the market. And then developing a responsible supply chain. You need very effective partners. Like I said, Akriti Creations, Mr. Amit Narayan, today we'll be hearing from him. You need people like him who believe in your thoughts, who believe in the brand vision and converts it to a real action and delivers. So some of these topics. The other pillar is environment and climate protection. That means long-term use of natural resources. How you think about it, what's available today, if not protected and judicially taken care of, will not be available tomorrow. So that's such an important topic. And as every brand is committed to net zero emission, so Cope is also committed to net zero emission by 2050 at the latest. You can only achieve it when you have a vision of a zero waste policy. That's how you use and reuse and connect one topic to another and take the vision forward. We also have to be very carefully, as I build on zero waste, have to be very carefully using our available energy and material cycles where possible, and continuously reducing our own consumptions of water and other natural resources. So yeah, working with a company where the Alps water is considered to be the cleanest. So we take even more onus to ensure that even though all the natural resources are globally well reserved. And then the third main pillar, which we look at, is environment and climate. Is the social responsibility, which is one of the biggest. Without people being happy, without people being taken care of, you can go nowhere. So it's a progressive employer, social responsibility. And in past, we all heard about minimum wages, fair trade, but the future is living wages. Yeah. So I take pride in telling Cope is committed to living wages, which is already a step forward and which we should all look at in future. So that's one of the topics. And since we're talking textiles and India being the second largest producer of cotton, so we can start with cotton today. Most of the brands are into GOTS. So organic cotton and the means of production remains the core and heart of our country. But that's something most of us have achieved already. What's beyond? The beyond is how you link it to minimum wages. Small as adding the weather monitors, giving it to farmers. I'm very glad that I connected with Cope and I work on a lot of agriculture products where you learn and you can share these practices. A weather monitor in the field, which tells you how much will it rain, when will it rain, which helps our farmers, just small things helps our farmers to plan better on the crop, on the harvest. And these digital means, when can be clubbed together with already existing GOTS and other means, is what something we need to look forward to together and share with our other brands and see how we can make a big difference. Small differences are all good, but how do you do a big thing when everyone collaborates together? So,
and you're actually combining digitalization and automation as well as sustainability are of the punch bell, two very important bells of BSL. And as a brand, you're combining both of them. So it's very, very, very good, actually.
Yes, and actually, I'll not retain and leave it to cotton. Mm-hmm. You talk about every other fiber, linen, hemp, jute, fruit fibers, and much more actually. But since we talk about cotton and linen, I'd like to introduce and have Mr. Amit Narayan and that's how we started a conversation over coffee and shared the idea. Now we need to do something different than already existing, which was vision of our brand Cope. and how we build it together. So it's not possible without a successful supply chain where you just start and you continue. You continue till eternity.
Over to you, Amit. We'd love to hear from you.
Hi, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Thank you very much for having me here with this host of experts on the panel. So I just like to say that it's we're all from India, right? We're from the, like he said, we are from the land of Ayurveda and yoga. So nature, sustainability comes to us. It's a part of our DNA. It's just that we moved away from it, and because of the new idea that came from the West for higher yield and better quality, we went into pesticides and fertilizers, which were of chemical origin. Otherwise, if you remember, the way we were brought up and our forefathers have lived in this country, our crops were always cultivated with using manure, which is natural. We left our fields fallow for a year to make sure that the nutrients came back. We still follow Rabi and Kharif, which makes sure that the soil is absolutely balanced. So sustainability, I would say, comes naturally to us. It's a passion. It's just that we drifted away from it, and I'm happy that we're coming back. And we've been doing a lot of efforts over a period of time. But like Deepa said, it was lovely to have Coop and Deepa engaged with us, and it was lovely that they had the same vision and passion for doing it, and they were ready to walk the talk. A lot of times these conversations get restricted to boardrooms, and just for a feel good when you go to a brand and you say, yeah, let's do something which is good, and let's save the earth, let's save the planet, and then it kind of fizzles out there, or you're not able to make much headway. So with Co-op, they were ready to partner with us, and we were glad to be with them because we could see that the intention was very clear. It was a long-term sustainability goal. It wasn't just for a season or because to attract a certain customer segment. It was a vision and a DNA for them as well. So yeah, we talked about sustainable denim, and yes, we went ahead and implemented it because we had been talking about it for ages. But then when Deepa and I got together, she was the one saying, it's high time to actually get it done and execute it. So now we are, for the last few years, making garments out of sustainable organic denim. That's fantastic for us, and it's a whole new product line. People talk about it. We're very proud to be associated with it. And after this got implemented, I think Deepa got word about it, saying, let's do something else. Why can't we just stop at denim? And then we talked about hemp, and then we talked about bamboo. You'll be happy to know that we're now shipping out garments made from bamboo fabric. And obviously, this requires a lot of R&D. So, things like, how is it different from viscose? What about composition testing? Will it show viscose or will it show bamboo? So you get it tested in labs, you see what's the outcome, and then you rework on it, go back to the mills. So it's been an exciting way of working together with Co-op. And I'm glad we found each other, and Deepa's taking us to new greater heights. The issue with Indian suppliers is that we do things in isolation, but when we partner with a bigger brand, the whole effort becomes much more global, and then you can see it. So to do an R&D on a bamboo or a hemp fabric or an organic denim, and then eventually see it hanging in the stores in retail, that's where you suddenly swell up with pride, saying, hey, this is what started off as just a coffee conversation, and here it is. So yeah, it's a great feeling to be associated with a brand like Co-op, and who share our vision. So not only cotton, even recycling polyester. So all this, in fact, I just say that I've been hearing this session for a long period of time, and people like Wellspun have done great strides into sustainability. You're talking about reducing carbon emissions, solar. For MSMEs, I'd say that you need to go on this path by accepting sustainability. It's not a monster. So it's not something which the brands or which people are forcing upon you. It's just that you need to realize it's already been happening. So like I said about cotton, the kharif and the fallow and manure, the same thing happens with polyester. We are doing recycled polyester with a lot of our clients. But we've already been doing this, We've always had the kawadiwala, the rag picker who's been coming to our house, and he segregates our waste. He takes away unused cloth, plastic bottles, glass bottles, segregates them for the last many hundred years and takes them and upsells them back to the manufacturer. So we have been doing recycling for a long time. It's just that we went away from it. It's like gyms. Our forefathers did yoga to keep fit. Then we discovered gyms, so we all went to gyms. And now the West is saying, what about yoga? Isn't that a much more sustainable way of keeping healthy rather than running 2 hours on a treadmill? So it's about coming back to our origin, coming back to our roots. We've already been doing it. It's now just branded as GOTS, GRS, ICS, SA 8000. But it's all been close to our heart, and I'm sure every Indian who's in this process knows that he's been doing or his forefathers have been doing this.
Thank you, Amit. You just walked the talk, and you actually told everyone that being sustainable is not difficult. And I would really urge you to take this message to all your fellow manufacturers as well. And with such sessions that we are organizing between BSL and AEPC, I think the message will go through very, very strongly. So we look forward to your collaboration and support to Government of India, AEPC, BSL, and all the initiatives on sustainability. So please spread the word and make more people join with you in this.
Yeah, it's about synergy. You can't work in isolation. So if you do it as an individual, and now you do it with the auspices of BSL, AEPC, the Ministry of Textile, it suddenly becomes more. The impact becomes much larger and wider than you can do it as an individual. So
Yes,
I thank you for taking this up on a much bigger and larger level than what an individual supplier could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Deepa, do you have anything to say for the amazing thing that Amit has done for you, and he's one of your very important supplier partner, but there are other partners as well. And I know that Coop has a sustainability fund, which is quite a big figure, right? I read about 18 million Swiss francs. So how does the sustainability fund help the company and also the supply partners? Because I'm sure they are you collaborate with them.
Thanks so much for this question. And certainly, Amit has been a great support, because it's you start a sustainable project, but you need to look for partners who will support it. Because when it's just an idea, for a few years, because we work on projects starting from core, that means you adopt a land and start thinking about seed, which is GMO free, which is not modified. Then you work on it for a few years to convert it organic. So that's the basis of organic that Coop follows. For that, you need supply partners who can believe in your vision and have that patience to wait for it and support your vision that one day we'll deliver. So it's a very different mindset that we work with, and we need to look for the right people who can be patient with you for years to come. So as you spoke about sustainability funds. So at Coop, when you have a vision and when you have an idea and you work on the report, you go back to the management, the sustainability team. There's a fund that we allocate for new projects, which if you believe in it and if you have done a research, you can adopt and make a trial. I'll share with you one of a very, very prominent example, which is not from the textile industry, but Coop is 80% food. So in Kerala, God's own country, the holy waters of Kerala, we had a vision. Coop is already doing a sustainable organic aquaculture in one of the Asian countries. And we thought, why not India now? And sharing those practices, we chose in Kerala as the region where we can develop organic aquaculture. Now, to develop that aquaculture, it would mean that you need to have the seeds, which is not there, which once country always had, that species known as black tiger. And then 5 years back, we thought we need to develop it again, but you don't have the seeds. So it starts from getting the seeds and starting the system again. You need funds for that. So the new project which Coop commit to, and there are funds for that. However, it doesn't stop there. There are funds which are revolving funds, because you need to continue the process. You need to make it working. So there is a percentage when you link it to the business. You can have it live forever because there are sales and there is a margin, and from our margins, we pull out certain percentage, which goes back to the society development and project development.
I see. Mhm.
This is on top of the organic premium that the brand is paying. And then you look for a new project and then you say, now this is new. So now let's look at that. Likewise, there are many other projects. One of the visions that company has and we have is now when you work in isolation, maybe an aquaculture project in Kerala, maybe an agriculture project in some other part of India, maybe a banana organic we look at tomorrow or pineapple organic we do today. If we look at textiles or if we look at the entire system altogether, how we make it circular, the waste of one organic project, how can it be a raw material for other? The leftover of a pineapple fiber, a banana fiber, how can we convert it into textiles and start using that as a textile raw material? And that's kind of a circular, sustainable economy we need to think of for future. And that's where the conversion will happen at much faster pace and it will live forever. So
Unbelievable examples, Deepa. So, I mean, you were saying that the waste of one product or a cycle is a feed for the other, right? So, fantastic, really, really nice. I've also worked very closely with Amit in one of the Swedish companies that I was leading, and I know for a fact that his DNA and his company's DNA is totally towards sustainability. So I think you make a great partner, Amit. And
yeah, we are doing so. We're obviously not doing it at that level as Deepa, but things like we started doing was the RO. The whole company works on a reverse osmosis water plant, and the wastewater, as you know, RO wastes a lot of water. I mean, almost 30-40% of the water spills out as non-drinkable. That gets rerouted to the toilets or to the first rinse in your washing cycle in the washing plant.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing on a much larger scale, which Deepa is talking about. So that's how we connect that, if it can happen to water, if we can reuse water, and that's I think what the lady from Venspun said as well, that if you can do that there, then why not extend it to other things? So I think that's where it becomes very exciting. That why just restrict it to what we already have? Why can't we think of newer avenues? If you're doing linen, why can't we do organic linen? Conversations like that come up.
Amit, even about carbon footage, if you throw some light, how you change your energy means.
Yeah, so these are things we are doing, like she said, that it's think of sustainability as a ROI and as a project, which was a very pertinent point. If you think about cost, and you keep saying, well, I need to change my lights to LED, it's going to cost me 30 lakhs. Or if I need to change my factory is on natural gas, they don't work on diesel anymore. But if I were to say that the cost of conversion is many crores, and that's why I'm averse to it, and I don't accept sustainability, which was one of my points I was saying, then it goes the wrong way. Think of it as an ROI project, that yes, you upfront spend a little bit of money to improve what you're doing, the way you're doing it. It adds to sustainability, it saves the planet. And over a period of 2 years or 3 years, it pays you back. So obviously the cost of running the factory on natural gas or on LED or on solar or on wind is going to be lesser, but the project cost will be a little bit of a deterrent. If you can get over that hurdle, then everything works out well. And everything needs to work out well. I always say I'm a parent. At the end of the day, when we talk about sustainability, we link it to business and we link it to profits and growth. But at the end of the day, I'm a parent. I would like to leave the planet a better place for my own children. So if you can do all of this by working a little smarter and a little out of the box, then why not do that? It's not only going to help you in your business, but it will also help the planet on the whole. So yeah, we keep doing things like this. Things like direct drive motors where energy consumption goes down by 70%. Obviously, the machine costs much more than a normal traditional sewing machine, but then you save tons of electricity. I'm sure that's what everyone's already doing, but think of it in a different way as an ROI.
Actually, Amit, you're one of the very few companies in India who I hear you're working on PNG, without being any mandate around it from the government or anybody like that. So fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
think,
we've been supporting a charitable eye care hospital for the last 25 years. We get free cataract operations done for people, for the poor who cannot afford to have a cataract operation. Now we know that we need to term it as CSR. All right. I mean, we've already been doing that. So I think a lot of stuff which we are talking about today is in us. It's just that we need to realize it and do it in a more organized way through forums like this.
Perfect. Deepa and Amit, I really want to thank you for the fabulous insights you've given to us in terms of what your brand is doing, what are you doing at a personal level, at a company level, and all your contributions back to the country, our planet, environment. So I think some mind-boggling figures have come through. We will do a snapshot of it and we'll be posting it on the BSL social media platform as well.